Greetings, YouTube. Today we're going to take a look at a Diablo blade. Now this, you're not going to be able to tell that this is actually a Diablo cutting disc for an angle grinder, because I have put it through its paces, and I did that intentionally. I didn't want to just do make a couple of cuts and say, yeah, it's okay, it does its job. No. I wanted to actually put it through its paces, use it for an extended period of time, and I've been using it for about 6 weeks. And that has included breaking down, I think, 6 or 7 bed frames completely, which is, there's a lot of fasteners on bed frames, and then processing those bed frames to use them in shelving projects. I have got two shelving projects that I've done, and both of them were using nothing but this blade right here. This is a diamond edged blade. It's got these nice little cutouts. Those are to help get chips out, as well as for cooling. And I actually have to remember to make sure I put it in the right direction, because I always sometimes I forget which direction does this go in. That's the direction it goes in. And this thing has worked like a charm. And one of the things I do a lot of the times when I'm breaking down bed frames is that I cut the fasteners off, and then I often I'll get the heads off, because I cut the heads off so that I can then separate the two items. And I use the edge to polish what I've cut off until there is nothing but a nice smooth surface. So now that I know that the entire head of the fastener, which is, you know, a big industrial rivet, is gone, so that I can then separate those two items with a cold chisel and a hammer, boom, when they come apart. Then I use this to cut off the little peg that's left on the piece I'm keeping, and then again polish it flat. That way I don't have to break out my flap disc. And so I'm using this thing not only to cut, you know, like this, as well as making, you know, cuts for this through metals, but I'm also using it at a slight angle like this. So I'm applying a little bit of force, not a lot, I'm not stupid, but a little bit of force in there just to get the bits and things off, so that it's nice and smooth, so I don't have to worry about any burrs on the things I've just cut. And I've done that a lot, and it has worked just beautifully. Like, it's a charm. I'm so happy with this. It was 20 bucks at Home Depot, and they claim it'll last 100 times longer than abrasive discs. And I have to tell you, I mean, I've gone through a lot of abrasive discs. I guess I'm sitting right here that were just waiting for me to use them, and I don't know how long they're going to keep waiting, because this is beautiful. I still have grinding discs for metal removal and flap discs for, you know, polishing and shaping and things. But for actual cuts, when it comes to just making straight cuts, cutting off fasteners on bed frames, and again, I break down a lot of bed frames. I either buy them cheap or I get them for free, and I use that a lot. So this has worked beautifully. I should have gotten a shot of this before I used it. If I'm smart, I'll put a picture of what it looked like in the beginning at the head of this video. We'll see if I can remember to do that. I gotta tell you, this Diablo cutting disc for a 4.5-inch angle grinder is awesome. I don't know if they make them for other sizes, because I have a 7-inch angle grinder kicking around, but I've come to realize it's so heavy that I don't know if I can use it anymore. I suffer from arthritis in both my hands. But I don't know if they make a bigger disc. It would be surprised me if they didn't, because that's kind of leaving money on the table. But this is beautiful. I really, really like this thing. I'm very happy with it. And if you use an angle grinder a lot for making straight cuts, for knocking down metal for projects, like I do for like breaking down bed frames, so that I can get all the pieces apart, so I can salvage them and use them for stuff. I use everything except probably the little feet, the little plastic wheel or rollers. I've kept the rollers because I don't know if I'm going to use those someday, but everything else I use, and they're awesome. In fact, I even use these because they make good feet for shelving. If you're going to vertical shelving, that's a great little foot. Right angled, 4 inches wide, makes a great little foot. And that comes off a bed frame. So yeah, love this Diablo. So if you've never tried one, for 20 bucks, I don't think you can go wrong. So give it a shot. I don't think you're going to be disappointed.